Hi, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. Happy Storytime Sunday. We missed you last week. I took last Sunday off. I felt like with everything that was happening in our country and around the world, COVID cases on the rise, all of the election drama that continues to unfold, that I needed a mental health day, and I also did not want to put out content that may be a distraction to the very important national conversations that we're having. So I decided to take last Sunday off. This week, to make up for that, I actually have two books to read with you. This book is Hina. It is about the goddess of the moon. And this book, Maui Slows the Sun, which is about the demigod Maui, which lassoed the sun from the sky. These are Hawaiian legends for little ones, and I picked these up from my very favorite store, my little mom and pop shop on Oahu called Namea Hawaii. I will put a link for them in the down bar. With all of the closures and everything, they have really suffered like a lot of small businesses have. And if you are looking for great gifts for this holiday season or anything like that, I really encourage you to check them out. This video is not sponsored. I bought these books with my own money. It's just somewhere that when I was in Oahu a couple of years ago, I really fell in love with. I really fell in love with this particular shop, and I really want to see them survive this really dark time and come out stronger on the other end. They are working really hard to increase their online footprint, and I've ordered a lot of my Christmas gifts and things like that from them this year because, like I said, I just want to support small business, and I really want to see them make it through this time. So, here we have Maui and Hina, and we'll get started with this one. On an island in the middle of the ocean, there lived a woman named Hina. Hina loved her beautiful island, but she was tired of the noise and crowds of people. She preferred the quiet, like the quiet you find under the waves of the ocean, or the quiet after a very hard rain. She was envious of the stars that seemed to hang in a silent sky. Hina decided to find a new home, but where could she go? She looked up at the night sky. The moon looked so inviting with its clear pale light shining all around her. But how was she to get all the way up to the moon? As she wondered this, a misty rain began to fall. A rainbow formed in the glow of the moon. Hina took one step onto the rainbow, then another. She climbed the rainbow all the way to the moon. The moon was quiet and calm, quieter than the ocean, and calmer than the rainforest. Hina loved her new home. She loved the way she could hear the silence and sit among the stars. But mostly she liked how she could look down and see her beloved little island. She still lives there to this day, keeping watch over her island and its people. And here is a little bit about this legend. There are many versions of Hina's story, but the outcome is the same. She keeps watch over us from her home on the moon. The reasons why she left our realm to live on the moon vary. For this version, I simplified her reasons to make it accessible to younger readers, and I referred to Martha Beckwith's seminal work, Hawaiian Mythology. The idea that the moon is a female energy isn't exclusively Hawaiian. In almost every culture, the moon exists as a symbol of feminine and peaceful energy. Hina is a powerful female entity, and I hope this telling encourages readers to dig deeper into Hina and her story. The end. And now let's read this one. Maui Slows the Sun. On a small island in the middle of the ocean, there lived a young boy. His name was Maui. Maui's island was constantly veiled in darkness. The sun raced too quickly across the sky, its rays never touching the land. Maui heard the music of his mother pounding kapa every day, but the kapa she labored over never dried. Maui had never felt the warmth of the earth under his feet, and that made him feel restless and sad. He decided to meet with the sun and convince him to travel more slowly across the sky. In the cool, still night, he made his way to the sun's lair, bringing a cord of Alona along. Maui saw the first few beams of the sun reach out from behind the mountaintop. Quickly, Maui threw his cord around the sun's rays and pulled tight. The sun gasped and strained, but Maui refused to let go. Maui begged the sun to slow down and let his light touch the world below. The sun was too proud to let the young boy win, but Maui would not relent. After many hours of struggle, the sun agreed to climb the sky more slowly, but only for half of the year. Pleased with his compromise, Maui released the sun and made his way home, feeling the warmth of the sun on his back for the first time. Maui could now feel the warm sand under his feet and see his mother's kapa dry in the sun. His island of darkness was now an island of music and light. And here again, we have a little notation from the author. As one of the most well-known figures in Hawaiian and Pacific storytelling, Maui's place in the canon is almost unmatched. His stories always include elements of playfulness, resourcefulness, and ingenuity. This story is a perfect example of why Maui is such a beloved character. He often uses his wits and talents in the service of others. While there are many variations on Maui's stories, I want to offer my sincere mahalo to sources like Maui, the Mischief Maker by Dietrich Verez, Tales of the Minahune by Caroline Curtis, and Mary Kawina Puki'i, and Hawaiian Myths of Earth, Sea, and Sky by Vivian Thompson. So here are two of our books. In the month of November, I typically like to focus with reading a lot of books that encompass Native American myths and legends, as well as books that have been written focusing on Indigenous subjects. We do not celebrate Thanksgiving. If you follow me on Instagram, then you've heard me say that before. We celebrate, or we commemorate, rather, the day that many celebrate as Thanksgiving. We commemorate that day as a national day of mourning in solidarity with Indigenous people and the ongoing theft of their land and resources. So these are the first of two books that I will be reading this month that will encompass Native American or Indigenous art and also storylines. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope you have a great week.